African American history is rich, vibrant, an integral part of the history of this nation.
The history of Delaware traces as far back as the 1600s. For years, the focus of the first state's history has centered on early European settlers.
The Delaware Historical Society, like many other historical organizations, really focused on the history of white people and primarily, shall we say, wealthy, politically connected white people.
While some stories about Delaware's African American experience have been presented, the wide-reaching contributions of blacks in the first state have been ignored. That is, until now.
Several years ago, the Delaware Historical Society received a grant from the city of Wilmington to create a Center for African American Heritage.
Peter Spencer, founder of the African Union Churches, and his mentor and colleague Richard Allen are a few early settlers whose contributions will be featured at length at Wilmington Center of African American Heritage.
This exhibit covers more than 300 years of our shared history in Delaware involving the African American experience. The two overarching themes encompass quite a bit.
The center will also delve deeper into the role Delaware played to free enslaved Africans.
The exhibit features Delaware's distinct Underground Railroad history, including our governor's recently well-publicized pardon of Samuel Burris, the abolitionist who was arrested and convicted of assisting freedom seekers more than 160 years ago.
The Center for African American Heritage has been in the works for several years. Now, the many stories that have impacted Delaware and beyond will get a chance to emerge from the shadows.
We have here in Wilmington the Beulah and Belton cases, which became a part of the larger Brown versus Board of Education landmark case that led to the desegregation of public schools in the country.
The Delaware Historical Society has been collecting and researching the contributions of African Americans for more than 150 years. The researchers are excited to finally be able to display some of the items from its collection.
For example, some of the highlights include, we have a ribbon, it's like a ribbon badge from the Afro-American Social Club of Lewis, Delaware in 1892, I think it is, that somebody wore when they're going to an Emancipation Day celebration. One of the real goosebumps objects that we have is a silver tray that was presented to Thomas Garrett in 1866. Thomas Garrett was the leader, the station master of Delaware's participation in the Underground Railroad.
Scott Lear, CEO of the Historical Society, says the opening of the Center for African American Heritage is the first step to a new phase for the organization and the entire state of Delaware.
It's an important time for this organization, but more importantly, it's an opportunity for people to learn more about new chapters, newly presented chapters in Delaware history, and to gain a better understanding of all the peoples who have contributed to the state and what it is today.